Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be making a Grandmaster tips and tricks video for GROOT. So before we get into all the tips and everything, I had a lot of people in my last Thor video asking me for settings and what I use for every hero. Now all my heroes usually tend to be a little bit different, but I maintain like the same kind of thing for everybody. So I have a ranged plus crosshair on GROOT because his attack is a ranged attack, even though it's technically his fist, it is still a ranged attack, so I like to have the plus because it's easier to track. Now I keep mine the cyan color because apparently that's like the fastest color your brain recognizes. I just also kind of like the color cyan, so it doesn't bother me. Now I don't have too much else special. I keep my sensitivities 250 and 250. Your vertical sense doesn't matter as much. Most people have it lower than their horizontal, but for some reason it just bothers me to have it different. Now for my minimum input, I have it set to 10. My maximum input set to 10 as well. I keep my dead zone sensitivity boost set to 0, but you can turn that up if you like. It just makes it so when you reach your dead zone, you will increase your sensitivity. So if you're spinning around, I set my response time to 20. Don't bother with any of the inverting or swapping anything. It doesn't bother me. I keep my aim assist window at 50 and then set to 100. So for GROOT, I just keep it default. And then I do disable aim assist at max dead zone. Now, for my reticle, like I said, I have this plus. However, for my melee-centric characters, I have... Where's Thor? I'll show you Thor. There it is. I have this circular crosshair that I just like it on melee characters because you don't have to aim as much on a melee character. It's less distracting, and it helps me place someone in the center of my crosshair if I need them to. Now, for the aim assist is the only thing I really change on the melee characters. This is normally on. I'm not sure what that was on. So I set my aim assist strength to 50 as opposed to 100 because a lot of times it messes me up when people are moving all around in front of me. The aim assist will lock onto someone I don't want it to. And then I generally have an aim assist ease in. I normally have it set to 25. I'm not sure why I didn't. Oh yeah, I also have a linear curve. I'm not sure if that's a default or not, but that's what I have it set to. But as I said, this is what I like for GROOT because it's still a ranged character. It still helps me track. However, for someone like Thor or a melee-centric, I have this circular because you don't have to aim as much. It helps me kind of focus on more what's happening in front of me instead of just my crosshair, but it's still useful. Alright, I'm going to get into the tips now. So the first tip I have for you is comboing with GROOT. So GROOT has like kind of a flow to his attacks where there is a moment of rest in between every swing. Now you can utilize these to your advantage and use your cooldowns and your melee, and he will maintain his flow, so you can really maximize your wasted time here. So for example, you can place your small walls and you can still follow up with a attack in the same exact amount of time. You can place your big wall, do the same thing. You can seed bomb, do the same thing. And you can melee. Now GROOT has a unique melee in which the third hit will knock enemies into the air and a little bit back. It does more damage than his other melees. You can use that to your advantage. And you can even ult in between your swings and maintain flow. So the next tip I have for you is maximizing the utility of your Thorn Lash walls, which are your smaller, more light brown walls. So, if you didn't know, your Thorn Lash walls will attack enemies when you attack them and they are within range. They have these little thorn whips that come out and do a surprising amount of damage for what they are. So if you're playing against a GROOT, destroy his walls all the time. But if you're playing as GROOT or with a GROOT, try to keep the enemies within your walls to maximize your damage output. Now, this is a great way to place your walls when you're playing in game, is above doorways, because enemy teams will just go through it without thinking to destroy your walls, as opposed to placing it directly on top of them. And then you can damage them as they're walking through, and this has a lot of range. You can even hit people that are up top if they were standing on your wall or above it. Another thing I like to do is keep it parallel with a wall, or like perfectly on line with a wall, so that way enemies perhaps don't think to destroy it, or perhaps come around this corner and are vulnerable to it without even realizing they are. Another thing you can do is use it to block off enemies and change their path to a more dangerous area where they are forced to take damage. Now, of course, not everyone's going to do that, and they're just going to come through your wall anyway. But you can also use it to wall off enemies, such as this. So now, if this enemy had a team with him behind him, he doesn't now because he's all by himself and he's walled off. Now you can also adjust the angle on this wall. You can make it straight up and down. You can put it at this like 45-degree angle, or you can put it flat. Now the flat only works if you are trying to bridge with it or put it on a wall, but it should automatically do that if you're looking at a wall. The only time I would suggest using this 45-degree angle is if you are trying to give your team this height advantage but still want the Thornlash wall to deal damage. You can combo this with your other wall if you so please. This works nice for if you have like this small doorway that you're trying to keep defended, or like a small corridor to the domination point that you're trying to defend. Or if you have someone that's kind of weak, like Hawkeye, but you want him to have some value and be able to shoot straight at the team, he could play from behind this wall. You can also use this in just doorways on their own, so you can have your team hold a doorway such as this, and the enemy team still has to either mantle over your wall or destroy it. Then my next tip is how to place your Ironwood Wall. Now, if you don't know, this Ironwood Wall gives you and your allies armor for dealing damage near said wall. I guess it doesn't look like the bots, but you can see that I'm gaining health. If this was a real person, they would as well be gaining blue armor, and it's very useful. I would not use this wall to try and block off enemies so much. You can use it for that. However, I would use it when you're defending a point or attacking. Keep it placed at an angle that will prevent enemies from flanking you, and will also give your team disadvantage so that the enemy team can't see it and destroy it, but you guys can still utilize it by playing the corner and retrieving the armor for the damage dealt. So now I'm going to tell you how to utilize your Spore Bomb in the most optimal way possible. So use your Spore Bomb all the time when its cooldown is up. Use it when you have it and you are doing a team fight, because that is one of GROOT's main ways of dealing splash damage. So as opposed to just throwing it straight at an enemy, if you throw it in the center of enemies, the little spore remnants will deal damage as well. And those also trigger your Thornlash walls, so if you have multiple enemies near your Thornlash walls, you can hit them all at once with your Spore Bomb, just like at one time like that. Use your Spore Bomb on your ultimate, obviously, because that is the best way to damage everyone possible at once. And use your Spore Bomb for those long-range shots. Practice learning the arc. Even when you come out of the spawn, there's nothing wrong with trying to get that extra little bit of ult charge by just launching it up at the enemy spawn, which is doable. It will make it. I do it a lot when I'm playing domination points. And we both spawn at the same point. I toss it up in the air to get some extra damage off the enemy spawn. I also use it for prediction throws, trying to figure out if someone's around a corner, someone's running away, I can't see them. You can throw it from around the corner and hit them that way. Yeah, you should use your Spore Bomb all the time. It's one of GROOT's best abilities besides the wall damage. Okay, so next I'm going to teach you how to use your ultimate, the Strangling Prison. So there's nothing wrong with just grabbing one person if you need to. It's great for grabbing that person that dives the enemy backline, or maybe there's an aggressive Thor on the enemy team that's just constantly coming in and coming back out for the heals. You can grab him with your ultimate. Don't feel bad about grabbing only one person, but whenever you do ultimate, try and always have your walls down where you want your ultimate before you ult, because I'll show you, for example, here. Thorn Lash walls deal damage on impact with the ultimate, as opposed to if I ult them first and then decide to place my walls. It takes a while, I'm just wasting time. It gives them too much extra time to try to survive, or maybe enough time for a healer ultimate, because the best part about Groot's ultimate is just how much damage it can do and how fast you can kill enemies with it. And the fact that it locks people in place is also great, because like I said, anyone who dives your team and constantly is in and out, like a Spider-Man or a Black Panther or a Thor, there's nothing wrong with ulting him and just using that to get that free kill. You can also ult to keep enemies off the objective. I would ult on healers is the best thing you can do. If you can, you know, you can utilize all your combos for all your walls for a big combo, such as this. Perhaps the enemy tanks are pushing up past your wall because they want to attack, but the healers are lagging behind. You can jump over, ult your healers, damage them that way. There's a lot of things you can do with your ultimate. I'm going to show you some gameplay of how you can really utilize Groot's ultimate, but besides that, it's really about all I have for Groot. Groot is a very simple character, however, he's a very good one. I'm sure you've played against some good Groots and have just been flabbergasted and fucking floored by his defense. He's certainly a better defense character than he is an attack character. However, you can still use him in attacking positions. It varies. It depends on what your team is playing, and what your other tank is playing. If you have another tank, which you should, solo tanking. I don't like solo tanking. 2, 2, and 2 is always the best thing, unless you are running goats, which is 3 tanks and 3 healers. That also works very well. But yeah, I'm gonna show you some gameplay now. Alright, so this is one of my favorite objectives to play Groot on because of how perfectly shaped the map is for him. Now, I utilize actually defensive use of his Thorn Lash wall here. As you can see, my Magneto got pulled in by the enemy Bucky, so I decided to place a wall so we can have that extra little bit of defense to get back to our team safely. I heard the Iron Man all moved out of the way of it, and then I see all these people stacked up here. The Invisible Woman leaves them behind, and it's just Rocket over there, so I know that they can't be saved by just Rocket. So I ult that because 2 DPS and a healer all on top of each other. It's just a free pick. Now, I should have had a wall down in the first place, but since they didn't have their Invisible Woman to easily ult on top of them, I knew I'd be able to kill them in time. I placed my ultimate in a way to split, I placed my Thorn Lash walls there on the middle of the objective in a way to split the Invisible Woman ult, so that way they can't utilize it fully, and that it's still a threat inside the ultimate. Now, you can see I also killed the Iron Man out of the sky. Don't let playing Groot stop you from trying to hit those flying characters, because you can still reach them very easily. Now, my Ironwood Wall here, I placed that to prevent the Doctor Strange Invisible Woman from getting out that way. However, I would usually keep it in this center area with this tree right here to the right of my Thorn Lash Wall, because that area is usually your team is standing around there, and it's a good spot because the enemy team aren't going to destroy it since it's out of the way, and it's right in the center of your fight, so you and your team can gain the armor bonus from that. So this clip will kind of show you a little bit about my game sense. So first off, I knew the Iron Man was going around for the ultimate because I hadn't seen him in a little while. I knew he was spawned in, so I was trying to play a little separated from my team so I didn't get blasted by that. And then I knew the Invisible Woman had her ultimate, so I decided to wait it out and then ult on as many as I could here, and my Namor followed up on that opportunity, and that just goes to show you how great of a comboer Groot can be with other people's ultimates, because the fact that he just holds them in place is great for so many other characters' ultimates, like Namor and Moon Knight and Iron Man and Thor. Like, it's just amazing for that. And even here you can still continue to see how I'm playing because both of my healers are dead at the moment, so I'm trying to play a little passively. I see I'm getting low on health, so I put down my shield, or my Ironwood Wall, so I can get the armor back from it while I'm attacking, and then my healers make it back, so I hide behind Ironwood. Alright, so before I even start the next clip, you're going to see I have a Jeff teaming up with me and running on my back. And while this partner up can work, I would probably suggest staying away from it in the higher ranked gameplay because it makes Jeff more of a target, and you're kind of just two targets stacked on top of each other. Even though you do get the damage resistance, the fact that your Jeff has to be glued to you while you play aggressive kind of puts him at a dangerous position. But it can work if you play aggressive and heal enough. You can notice my walls got fucked up because the map was moving, because at this map, whenever you reach 50%, the map starts to move, and I tried to place the wall while it was moving, and it fucked up my walls completely. So, anyway, I see what percentage my ultimate is at. I see the Mantis moving up, and I see Punisher is with her. I'm going to try and get him as well, but I don't reach him. I still get Thor, the Mantis, and I get Hulk into his Bruce Banner form. I did die, however, it was still a worthy trade. We won that fight off of it. It was definitely more worth than it was not. So immediately I'm going to apologize for my crosshair in this one. I was playing on my Ultimate account to help my partner get ranked up, and I did not fix my settings in this one. However, this is still a great play here. You can see I see the Scarlet Witch, the Rocket, and the Mantis all grouped up in this doorway here. In fact, I'm going to rewind it and show you again really quick. But I see them pushing through this doorway, and that's great when the enemy team plays in the small areas when you are GROOT, because of how much splash damage you can manage and how much of the map you can alter with your wall. Now I placed the wall above them, perpendicular to them. It was intentional, it wasn't accidental. It traps them a little more. When they get out of the ultimate, the game will squeeze them in a weird direction. It'll either push them up or off to the sides. But also, the wall can whip up and down and can sometimes get extra whips on the enemy if they are in that position. So, in a spot like that, that is a great time to put your wall perpendicularly. Anyway, that is all I got for you on GROOT at the moment. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you. Sorry if the tips are kind of basic. GROOT is a very basic character, but it's more about your game sense, improving how to utilize that. I'm going to make a video in the near future here on how to work on the game sense and how to improve just your overall playability in those higher ranks. So if you have any questions on that, please feel free to leave some here. I'll try and answer them in the future video. But again, I hope this video helps you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really appreciate the support you guys have been giving me lately. I had 4,000 views on that Thor video, and I've gotten like 30 or so subscribers just within the past week, and that's so awesome. That's really nice of you guys, and yeah, appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.